Welcome back. How good did it feel to get back on the pitch with Kansas City?
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. It was just, it's been a few weeks of us like not having games and just being back on the field with this team. Like, it was just energetic, and you could tell that like we were all just happy to be out on the field and we wanted to win, and you could tell.
Yeah. And I always ask, I always get the same answer, but I'm always shocked. I shouldn't be by the chemistry that is between players who haven't yet gotten game minutes. Like for example, you and Mary Long. I feel like it was a natural, and I don't know that you guys have had many minutes, if any, together.
Yeah.
What do you explain? How can you explain that?
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to the work that we're putting in training every single day. Even players, like you said, who haven't had a lot of minutes. Some players who debuted on Saturday, you could just tell that we have that chemistry because of the work that we're putting in training. Everyone knows what their role is. Everyone knows where they're supposed to be on the field, and you can tell that people are really focused in and are prepared for when their moment has come.
And now looking at this next match, it's a championship at home. You guys have a good record when it comes to things like that. Just how excited are you about this, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, it's really exciting to have a final in our home stadium. It's always exciting, and the fans, I think, are always excited about games like that. So it's nice to have that energy. I think it's just important for us to we want to win. Winning's a mentality. You have to have built great habits to win, and so we're not just taking this as any other game. Like, we are preparing for the second half of the season and a potential playoff run, and so building those habits today or tomorrow in our game is important.
How challenging is it when the turnaround is a little shorter than you guys are used to? I mean, just 4 days between games, whereas with league matches, you normally get about a week to prepare for your opponent.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we don't experience a lot, and so we're navigating that. But I think what's great is that we have an amazing staff that is so organized. They have the scout ready for us, the game plan. They make sure that we're getting our recovery in and making our days shorter so we can get home and rest. So I think we just have a great support system behind us to make sure that we're mentally, physically ready, and also just knowing the game plan and the tactics. So it's difficult, but I think we're really focused on, tomorrow's a final. So, focus in. I know it's a short turnaround, but focus in and do what you have to do to be prepared, and be ready for a final tomorrow.
You're not playing a final for the NWSL title, but is any opportunity to win a trophy a good opportunity?
For sure. I think, I think the more you win, the more you learn how to win. And so I think for us, it's going into a final and what that brings. It could potentially be PKs. It's potentially having game management at the end of a game if we're up or if we're down. And so those are scenarios that we could be in a playoff game. And so it's preparing for that. But then also, we want to win a trophy. It's at the Teal Rising Cup. That's important to us to, bring home that first trophy for the city.
In stylistically, what have you already noticed about playing Brazilian teams as opposed to playing NWSL teams?
Yeah, I think, everyone kind of knows about Brazilian players is that they're very technical, have a lot of flair, and so I think going into the games you have to be very defensively sound, making sure we capitalize on transitional moments where we can pick them off. But I think that they're very organized teams. They're very aggressive. I think they want to get into tackles. They want to be aggressive. And so, it's just being able to bring our game and not changing too much from what we normally do.
Do you feel like their style of play is making you guys better in some ways?
For sure. I think it's great to be able to play a different style to teams that we haven't played before, because it shows, also where we can be better. Maybe some things that we haven't been exposed to yet that we can grow on. I think, our last game, there was a lot of man-marking situations, and we had to, learn to expose the space that they were leaving for us, and that's not something we deal with a lot in our league play. And so it's allowing us to grow in different ways and, maybe expose some things that we didn't know about our own game as well.
You mentioned the end of the season. When you do get back to NWSL play, how are you hoping to attack the rest of the season, the back half?
Yeah, we want to, get at it right away and, kind of start off how we finished this first half of the season. we know that the second half is going to be even more difficult than the first. Every team is getting stronger. Every team, has watched us play and, is game planning for that. And so we know that, we had a good first half of the season, but we have to take it up a notch. And so these games are actually preparing us to make sure that we're ready and sharp and good to go.
We will turn it over to Zoom now. Daniel, go ahead and unmute your mic and you can ask your question.
Hey, Nichelle. I'm curious for you, just what has this year been like? I know it's been up and down with injury here and there. How have you balanced kind of the call-ups to national team has been like maybe at times some of the only time you've been healthy compared to where it's been with the club team. So how are you kind of managing that, balancing that, and what's that experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's been up and down. I think, I've been healthy here and I've been healthy with the national team and vice versa. So I think it's just, for me, I'm 30, I've been playing a long time, and so I've had injuries, and so I try not to get too fazed by them anymore. It's gonna happen. I think for me, it's, riding the wave and making sure that when I am healthy that I am able to make an impact. And I think just for me, it's really just taking advantage of the time that I'm on the field and being an impact with the national team or with the current, and try not to, let the negative times really affect me too much physically and mentally.
And then you mentioned this team kind of learning how to win. I'm curious, what are kind of the game states that you experience in a final like this that you guys can learn from and take forward going into playoffs and stuff like that maybe don't appear in a regular game or in kind of maybe like the Palmeiras game? I'm sure there's probably different atmospheres, vibes, feelings that take place maybe in the final.
Yeah, I touched on a little bit about just like making like the game management part of it, whether we're up or down, like, PKs, just like the mental part of being in a final and knowing that it's one game, like it's win or lose, you have to win, and so it's just going into that game knowing like, preparing for a match that could potentially have a trophy online. So it's just, I think for us, we're going to go into our game. Every game we go into, we are playing to win. So I don't think anything changes in that sense, but I think that we'll learn a little bit about how we can manage games if we're up or if we're down or if we're preparing to go into PKs.
Any other questions on Zoom or in the room? All right. Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hello.
Biggest moment of growth after that first match? Where would you see some growth from your squad?
Well, I think these two games basically we took approach, and we already mentioned it, to give time to the players that didn't play as much in the first part, and we think they did very well. We think they did very well in that game. They gained very important minutes, and for us, that's a big takeaway.
What are you learning from the Brazilians? I know by now you've probably seen both matches, right? You've watched them back. Specifically, the 3-back that they prefer. What does that expose about your game as far as attacking that man-marking transition?
Well, we saw a lot of, actually we will see, especially in the second game, a lot of man-marking tendencies, and that is something that we don't see as often. And but again, it's a new challenge for us. We are used to, like I said, in the league, a lot of times teams change when they play against us. So we always have to adapt. And for our players, it's very important to face those kind of challenges. And we'll see tomorrow how the game's going to look like.
And then just how excited are you? Another chance to lift a cup at home.
It's always good to compete for any kind of a trophy, and we are fortunate that we are in a situation to do that in front of our fans tomorrow. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Finals can always be tricky because it's a one-off game. So how have you seen this group approach this game tomorrow night?
Well, our approach anytime we play, we are trying to win the game, and that doesn't change. Obviously, there will be some rotations in the squad, some due to minute management, some due to return to play, some due to just tactical adjustments. So our approach again is we're going out to win the game and compete.
You mentioned some of the players getting minutes who haven't gotten to see the field as much during the first half of the season. How important is it for them to take these chances in these games to maybe further their case, give you guys a harder decision when it comes to more games in the latter half of the season to maybe see the field more than they have?
Oh, it's very important. Obviously, it is a tough environment. It is a hard environment, and especially for the younger players, they are competing against some of the best players in the world. And anytime they have a chance to see the field, I think it's big for them. And on the other side, nothing is given to them. They earn these opportunities, and they are here for a reason. And yeah.
I know your ultimate goal at the end of the season is to lift the NWSL trophy, but Michelle kind of mentioned that once you get a taste of winning, you just want it more. So how much does maybe winning tomorrow night's trophy kind of add fuel to the fire of wanting to add a few more trophies by season's end?
We like to take it game by game, and obviously tomorrow is tomorrow, and the same approach we take in a regular season matches. We go from game to game. We try not to think too much about what is ahead, but yeah, it is exciting when the conversation about that starts. However, we want to be focused on present and just make sure we take care of the next one.
Any questions on Zoom? Thad, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Just curious, Pfeiffer got in the game first time since last year, coming back from her injury. Just what did you see from her and her comeback?
Oh yeah, we were all excited to see her back on the field, and she did some very good things. Got behind the back line several times, got herself in few opportunities, and it's what we expect to see from her in the future as well.
Questions on Zoom or in person? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.